Hi, it's T. Carlson here. Mick Ronson is not a household name, and that's truly disappointing because this man was a genius as a singer, a guitarist, an arranger, and everything in between. A few years back, we got a documentary called Beside Bowie, the Mick Ronson story. This, of course, looks at the life of the former David Bowie guitarist, looking at many different angles and facets of his career, as well as his young life up to his unfortunate passing in the mid-1990s. Mick Ronson, of course, will forever be known for being David Bowie's guitarist during the classic Spiders from Mars period. A bit of a shy boy who was an expert guitar player, he really wanted to get into doing arranging and songwriting, but the record label wanted to push him to be the next big rock star and even put out some solo albums. But unfortunately, as a solo artist, Mick's career never really took off, which is truly disappointing because the man was a true musical genius. He continued to work behind the scenes in other capacities as an arranger, songwriter, and plenty of other things. But unfortunately, again, it was all cut short when in his mid-40s he passed away from cancer in the mid-1990s. Mick Ronson is a man certainly deserving of a good rock and roll documentary. And this one actually assembles a pretty good collection of interviewees, including family members and fellow musicians. One of the key musicians being interviewed even being Joe Elliott from Def Leppard. The Def Leppard guys, of course, idolizing Bowie and the whole 70s glam rock scene. And that's part of the reason that this movie had the potential to be so good. Unfortunately, the movie is far from great. I was expecting something that focused on Mick, his life, his music, his accomplishments. But this movie does get lost on a tangent too many times, and it does take some very questionable directions. There's an entire segment of this documentary devoted to the controversy of David Bowie coming out as gay in the early 1970s. Why are we talking about this in a movie about Mick Ronson? If you were doing a documentary on David Bowie, that would be a fantastic thing to explore. But, Mick Ronson was in David Bowie's band. Inevitably, you have to talk about Bowie a little. But I don't see why that was necessary to include in this documentary. There's also very little talk about the solo albums that Ronson actually made. And that's truly disappointing because the two that he did make in his life, Slaughter on 10th Avenue and Play Don't Worry, both have some excellent music on them, and they really deserved a little more emphasis here than they got. So I have to say, I love Mick Ronson, but he really deserves a better documentary than what we got here. I do like, the production quality and the choice of interviewees. Picture quality in here is pretty good, although some of the archival footage looks a little rough. So I can give this one a marginal recommendation, but there are certainly a lot of things I would have done better and done differently if I was making the movie. How about you? What did you think of Beside Bowie, the Mick Ronson story? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.